So in this video, we're going to be looking at something that's probably pretty familiar to you. You've been learning this since 3rd, maybe 4th grade. But these properties of addition and multiplication become particularly helpful when we are looking at solving algebraic equations. So we're going to revisit those. So as a reminder, we have the commutative properties of addition and multiplication, and those tell us that the order of addition and multiplication don't matter, right? 5 plus 2 is the same thing as 2 plus 5, and 3 times 4 is the same thing as 4 times 3. Okay, then we have the associative properties, and those tell us that the grouping of these addends and factors does not matter, right? So 2 plus 3 plus 4 is the same thing as 2 plus 3, in parentheses, plus 4, right? So we've changed what we're grouping here and what we're adding first, but our answer is still the same. Same with if we were multiplying 3 times 4 times 7, that would be equal to 3 times 4 times 7. The addition property of 0, or the identity property of addition, right, tells us that adding 0 to a number, we still just get that number. The multiplication property of 0, on the other hand, tells us that anything multiplied by 0 is equal to 0, right? 4 times 0 equals 0. And then finally, our multiplication property of 1, also known as the identity property of multiplication, tells us that anything multiplied by 1 is equal to itself. All right, so we are going to use these properties to help us simplify some algebraic expressions. So, for example, we have 7 plus, in parentheses, 12 plus x. Well, we could use the associative property here to change this grouping. So instead of 7 plus 12 plus x, we could do 7 plus 12 plus x. And we know that 7 plus 12 is equal to 19. So we could simplify this expression rather than having 7 plus, in parentheses, 12 plus x. Now we have 19 plus x. Okay, another one. We have 6.1 plus x plus 8.4. So we could first use our commutative property, which tells us the order does not matter with our addends. So we could rewrite this as 8.4 plus, in parentheses, 6.1 plus x. And then once again, we can use the associative property, changing this to 8.4 plus 6.1 plus x. And then we can add 8.4 and 6.1. We get 14.5 plus x. So again, we were able to simplify our expression there. Another one, we have 5 times 11y. So again, we could use our associative property of multiplication here. Right now we have 11 times y in parentheses. We could change that to 5 times 11 multiplied by y. And we know that 5 times 11 is 55. So we could simplify this expression to 55y. Another one, we can use our multiplication property of 0 here. We know that multiplying by 0 is equal to 0. So if you were to multiply any of this out, right, 9 times 0 is 0, and then 0 times p is 0. So using that 0 property, we could simplify this expression down to 0. One more for us, 4.5 times r times 1. Again, using our identity property of multiplication, or the multiplication property of 1, we know that r times 1 would simply be r. And then 4.5 times r, we could write as 4.5r.